This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. And it's good to see everybody. And I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch the live stream tonight. As you know, or the people on Facebook know, I have two great guests. You're going to enjoy them. Marcus Crawford of Idaho Quadcopter and Willis Reese. And he was the program coordinator at the Sunshine State Drone Expo. And that's where I met him a couple of weeks ago in St. Petersburg. And you're going to be very impressed with him. But he's on his way home because he teaches drones to students at the middle school. And he's on his way home and he'll be joining us shortly. So, but really, I can't believe how the weeks are flying by. Really, I'm telling you. I mean, I can't believe it. But, today is January 30th and there's only 57 days left. The South Florida Drone Meetup. It's it's gonna be here before we know it, and it's amazing because we have so many people signed up already. We got 98 people on the list right now. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's coming and going to join us at this third annual South Florida Drone Meetup. Um, I like I say, it 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 was a meetup that Maddie Cundiff and Ken Hopper and Mitch, we just said, well, we're going to have another little meetup and we'll invite a few people. And when we had the first one back in 2021, I guess, yeah, we ended up with over 50. They came to that first one. And then last year, we had over 100, I would say. I stopped signing in people at 82 and people kept coming. Um, but we had such a great turnout. And I see our guest in the back room, so we'll be bringing him in shortly too. And I want to say thank you again to all those that are coming. But the raffle prizes of coming in. I got one right in my hand here, and I should actually hold it up when the guest is in here because this drone is from one of our guests tonight, Marcus Crawford. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I got other raffle prizes. We got a Mini 3 Pro hard case, and it's filled with drone accessories. And this is from TJ Alexander. And I'm donating some drone accessories too, and some T-shirts and some Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly hats. And speaking of that, we'll be doing our monthly giveaway for the T-shirt a little later, and it's going to be a great show tonight. So thank you all for tuning in. And I tell you, I've been flying, and I could go on and kill the whole hour telling you about how much flying I've done recently. But I got to welcome, the people in the chat. And I know Al, South Florida Drone Flyers, I think he was number one, and JC Flyer was right behind him. How you doing, John? And Paul Wedgenbig, Paul Brown, Wedgenbig, how you doing? And Stephen Drones, good to see you. And John Olson, always good to see you. He's a fellow drone pilot from Long Island. And John, when I get back in May, we will definitely fly. Hopefully, you'll have a drone by then, and we'll go flying. Um, but I'm going up the list. We got Jaybird Drone. Joe, I'm sorry to hear about the Bengals. I was rooting for them myself, but they didn't make it. So they're not going to the Super Bowl this year. But it's going to be a great Super Bowl. And, while we're talking about that, I might as well talk about Drone Nation tonight because, Marcus Crawford, he's one of the co-hosts of Drone Nation, and he's got two other great co-hosts, Ron Brown and DeMarco Moore. And DeMarco Moore will probably be giving his prediction in the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to see what team he's going to be picking. I know what team I'm picking, but I'll should I tell you now? No, we'll wait and see. Hey, what team are you picking? Let me know in the chat. But anyway, I saw Bill Hooper. How you doing? Good to see you. And Captain Joe America. How you doing? Good to see you. And um, let's see. My mouth is very dry. Um, and Lee Bessing, how you doing? Yellow Rose Jones, and I'm so glad you're coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. Um, I'll be looking forward to seeing you again. And John Flying Flynn Media, he's in the house tonight. And Unlimited Vertical, good to see you. How you doing, John? George Kelly, Greg Pittman, and Alicia B. Always good to see you, Alicia. How you doing tonight? Um, and I know it takes time to do this, but it's very important to me that I acknowledge the viewers, really. So Trucker Steve's in the house too. He's coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. Nobody knows Trucker Steve yet because I met Trucker Steve on the crime live streams, and then he came over to the drone live streams, and he's coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. Oh, we do got a celebrity in the house tonight. DeMarco, he's in the house. How you doing, DeMarco? And we're looking forward to hearing your Super Bowl prediction. So, great. I said Greg Pittman already, and Marcel, how you doing? Good to see you, Marcel. All right, and Jackie coming to us all the way from Spain. Holy mackerel! How you doing, Jackie? Good to see you. Jerry Bauer, how you doing? Dominic coming to us all the way from Australia. How you doing? Oh man, I'm telling you, thank you all again for tuning in tonight. But I gotta have a little water. Wow, I was on a boat all day. Just to let you guys know, I was on my boat, and I was trying to catch fish, and I didn't have any luck until I got back to the dock, and I tied it up at the dock, and I threw a line in with my secret bait, and I finally caught a catfish. So, but I'm just going to put up the banner about the South Florida Drone Meetup and tell everybody about it. It's on April 1st, 2023, and we're having it again at the same location as last year, the Jensen Beach Causeway Park in Jensen Beach, Florida. It's free to attend, and put your name on the list, the sign up list, and I give you a little number because one lucky attendee will win a raffle prize based on the number. So we'll see. But like I said, we're up to 98 names on that list. So, and we encourage adults to bring children. That's a big focus that I have on this show, and Johnny and I have on the Fly for Fun show, is to get children involved in flying drones. And my old saying, let's get kids hooked on drones, not drugs. Um, so, but I didn't leave Marcus and Willis that much shrimp and lobster. I was going to say beef jerky in the back room, but we have shrimp and lobster back there. So I'm going to bring in Marcus, and then Willis will be joining us very shortly after that. So I want you to give a warm welcome to Marcus Crawford. He's coming to us all the way from Idaho.
Hey, Captain Ray.
How you doing?
Hey, I got a little confession. I'm allergic to lobster, so I ate all the shrimp. So hopefully Willis is okay with the lobster that's in there.
That's good. So good to see you. Good to
Yeah.
see you. And I tell you, I like that shirt you're wearing. Really,
Yep. Got my South
And
Florida drone meetup shirt on. Darn right.
yeah, that was the color that we chose last year, and that's the logo that we had, and we're gonna have a new logo this year. For those that don't know what it is, but this is the new logo, and it's a full chest logo, and it's not gonna be on a bright yellow shirt like this. It's gonna be on a light blue shirt. So, and there's still time to order one, but you have to pay for it ahead of time. It's only $20 for small through XL and 23 for XL and triple X. But if you want one, you got to pay now. I'm going to order them any day now, and you got to pay via PayPal. So, and if you have any questions, just text me or get a hold of me. But Marcus, you were telling me in the back room that it is freezing cold out there. So, have you been flying much?
The short answer is no, not at all, because our weather, we've had snow and cold and cloudy and just not conducive to flying drones. And trust me, I am not afraid of flying drones in the cold. But today our low was like 6 degrees.
Oh,
So yeah, 6 degrees Fahrenheit. For you folks in Celsius, that's what, 10 below or 12 below or something crazy like that. But in any case, it is damn cold. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm waiting for it to warm up. I got some drones I want to get out and fly and do some things, but you can only do what you can do. But here's the key, Ray. I flew like crazy last fall. I went out every day, so I still have enough video drone footage that I can still post videos.
yeah, yeah. No, that's good. It's good to have some footage in the can, as they used to
In
say.
the can, that's right.
But um, I have yet to finish editing my little trip to St. Petersburg, Florida, to this Sunshine State Drone Expo, and I was hoping to get it completed today so I could post it before Willis comes in, and he's going to tell us all about it. And but I just couldn't finish it. So
It's a
I
lot of work, isn't it? People don't
yeah,
understand
that's
how the
that's
work
what
it
takes a
takes.
lot of the time is
Oh
the
yeah,
editing.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
as you know.
yeah.
But I try to have fun doing it too. And Marcus, what program do you use to edit?
I use a program called Magix Movie Edit Pro.
Oh, okay. Is that
Yeah.
difficult?
They're all difficult. So it's just a matter, and there's nothing logical about them. So it's just what you happen to learn. That's one that I started with. So I learned all the details, and I'm pretty good with it now. Uh, I'd like to I'd like to move to Final Cut Pro on an Apple product,
Yeah.
but that's going to take some time. So
I shouldn't admit this, on the live stream, but I took 5 sessions on Final Cut Pro way back in the day when I had the TV fishing show, and I just couldn't grasp it, you know, and I sort of gave up on it. And I use iMovie. It's a very easy way to edit, and my videos are nothing fancy, but to get the point across.
if it works for you, it works.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But you have donated one of the raffle prizes to the South Florida Drone Meetup, and I want to say thank you. You donated this Holy Stone drone, and we really appreciate it, Marcus. So thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about this drone?
Yeah, so the HS720G is the successor to the Holy Stone HS720S, I believe it was. The S simply had electronic image stabilization. This one actually has a 2-axis gimbal on it. I have one too, Ray, that I'm going to do a review of. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet, so I can't really tell you how good, bad, or indifferent it is. Understand that these kind of drones, you're not going to get the kind of quality video that we get off of our DJI drones.
Right.
But a lot of people start with them, and that's why I feel like it's important for me to do some reviews so that people can get a look. Ray, I got a couple other things that I need to bring up while we're
Sure.
on this
Yeah.
subject. So You know, one of the things that made the South Florida Drone Meetup fun last year was you had a mountain of stuff to give away, and people got so excited about that. And I think the biggest prize was a Mini Two. Am I correct?
Yeah, we had two of them.
Two
Yes.
Mini Twos. Well, so I got something else here I want to send to you to give
Oh,
away.
oh wow.
This is another one of those starter drones. It's called the W80, and I don't want to fool anybody. I don't want them to think that this is a new Mavic or anything like that. But it's another one of those
Well,
Amazon type
we
uh,
appreciate it, Marcus. Thank
drones,
you.
and it gets people started. But we're not done.
Oh boy,
Uh,
you want to get
so
into you want to get up in the platinum category. I can see that.
Well, what now? Well, I want
Thank you.
I want it to be a success again. I mean, not that it wouldn't be otherwise. I'm just saying that I want to be able to contribute to that success.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. What I've learned is when these companies send me products for review, I often ask for two now. That way I can give one away
Yeah.
and then test the other one, right? Well, another company asked me to review an anemometer for them. And of course, I'm
Oh
sure you know
wow.
what an anemometer
Yeah,
is.
of
You use
course.
it on your
Yeah.
boat, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Uh, for anybody, I'm sure I don't. Most people know what it is, but it measures wind speed.
Right.
Uh, and when you're out flying your drone, yeah, we can use things like UAV forecast to check the wind speed, but to know exactly what your wind speed is when you're taking off, it takes an anemometer. And I have one that I used for a long time. Well, this company, Top Tests, got a hold of me and they wanted to send me one for a review. Well, of course, I told them to send two. So, so I'm going to review one,
Thank you.
and I'm going to send this one along with that drone, and so that's something else that you can
Thank you. Thank you
you can
so much.
put in that.
I'll definitely add them to the list. And obviously, you are a sponsor already, but thank you. It means so much to us. It does.
So I got to tell a little secret about that Holy Stone drone, though.
Yeah.
Ray.
Okay.
Those people were bugging me to review their drone, and they had all these. You got to do it and within 30 days and this, that, and the other thing. And I said, it'll be what it'll be. I said, tell you what, I'll review your drone if you'll send one to my friend Captain Ray too. And
I
so,
appreciate it.
so that's what they did. And that way I didn't even have to pay postage to send it to you, Captain
And
Ray.
I got mine before you got yours.
Yeah, you got yours first. The other thing that our audience doesn't know about is that they asked me, they said, do you think that Ray would be interested in reviewing drones? And I said, well,
Right.
I'll bet he would. So,
Yeah, I
I'm
appreciate
sure
that.
that they'll be sending you some drones for review, Captain Ray.
Well, thank you. Really. Marcus, I told you in the back room, that I used to watch your channel even before I got to meet you. And I met you on Drone Nation. That's the first time we really met. But I watched your Idaho Quadcopter channel for many, many months, way before I met you. And I learned so much, really. You got a phenomenal channel. And anybody in the chat, if you're not subscribed to Marcus, you got to subscribe to him. But watch his videos because he is so knowledgeable, and the way his presentation is, it's great. It really is, Marcus. Thank you for that. I learned so much watching you.
It's nothing but fun, really. And you and I discussed this earlier too. What the biggest thing that YouTube channel has done for me is allowed me to make a lot of friends throughout the country and throughout the world, uh, including you.
Well, yeah, I know. And you and Drone Nation hooked me up with Johnny. That's how I met Johnny on
Well,
your show.
yeah, I forgot about
You
that.
know. Hey
Yeah.
Johnny, speaking of Johnny, Johnny's in the house. We got a celebrity in the house. How you doing, Johnny?
In the
And
chat there,
then
I
we
haven't
got
seen
number
Bob.
13, Brent Ariels in the chat too. How
Oh
you
yeah,
doing,
there's
Gary?
Gary. Yeah.
Yeah. And Scotty, Jack Rabbit FPV. How you doing, Scott? Jim's droning. Good to see you. Lake Pilot. We got a great crowd in the house. Thank you, guys. But listen, Marcus, we're going to continue. with your conversation shortly. I don't want to leave Willis in the back room too long, so we'll bring him in, and then we'll let him tell a little bit about him and what he does, and then we'll have a joint conversation.
I am
Okay?
very anxious to hear what his story.
So listen, everybody in the chat, I want you to give a warm welcome to Willis Reese, and he, again, I met him at the Sunshine State Drone Expo in St. Petersburg. So please, hey Willis,
Hey
welcome.
guys, am I too loud, too soft? How's
No,
my
no,
voice?
good audio, very good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good, excellent.
welcome to Adventures with Capt Ray Kelly live. People in the chat are dying to hear from you. So
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Captain Ray, and nice to meet you, Marcus. And
Nice to meet you, Willis.
it's nice to be here. I didn't even know this existed, so this is really awesome. And I'm glad to hear there's other people out there spreading the good word and the news. So good stuff.
oh yeah, I tell you, I got to compliment you on the Sunshine State Drone Expo. I didn't know what I was getting into when I called. Well, I emailed you, and I said, all right, sign me up, give me a booth, and I'll try to promote the South Florida Drone Meetup, and I was very very impressed. That's one thing I'm going to say. But
Well, thank
you
you.
welcomed me, and I really appreciated that.
Well,
So
we welcome
tell us.
everybody. That's the
I know,
thing. That's the
I
thing.
know, and you had quite a crowd there, and you had a lot of vendors and
Yeah.
demonstrations. But I'm going to let you tell
Yeah.
the viewers all about the South. I mean the Sunshine State Drone Expo, and then what you do with the Civil Air Patrol and as a teacher.
Right, right. Well, first of all, the Sunshine State Drone Expo is for everybody, and that's why we were so quick to welcome you in. You gave me the basics. You told me the background of what you were doing, and that was right up our alley. Anything that informs and educates the drone public on safety and how to do things, best practices, and all that kind of stuff. That's right up what we're doing. So I started at Azalea Middle School, where we house this big event every year. We just had the second one this year, but we had been working on this for 5 years or so before the first one, which was last year. COVID, of course, stopped everything. We were right on the precipice of actually getting things started. And then the COVID came and we had to shut everything down. So, it was one of those things where, we just got some extra, practice time getting things ready, which was good. When we had the first one, it was
Right.
it was pretty nice. It wasn't near as big as the one we just had, but it was a good starter. Like I said, coming straight out of COVID, and then, bang, there we are. But we had a couple of food trucks. We had, the St. Petersburg SWAT team.
I know that impressed me.
Yeah, the fire
Yeah.
department was out. We had Duke Energy's drone team out there. We had a couple of local folks that do drone education and sell drones and that sort of thing. Florida Drone Supply was there. We had just so many people. We had the Unmanned Safety Institute was out, and they came all the way from Philly. The people that came from Duke Energy came all the way down from North Carolina, to fly with us. And then of course we had Fly Motion, which is always a big draw. So there was a lot of big names out there. Motorola joined in. Rocket Drones joined in this year. Just again, too many to really say everybody that was there. And then we did a lot of really good work in marketing this and advertising it to get the word out. And a lot of people showed up this time.
I
So
know.
we're expecting it to really take off even bigger next year. And from the feedback we're already getting, it should have no problem outpacing itself. But we're doing it completely for free. Nobody pays anything for a booth. Nobody pays anything to take part. Nobody pays anything to come in the door. The only thing you pay for is the food vendors that are there. They charge, of course, for their food, the normal fees. But that's what it's about, and we're building an event that's bringing the community together, the drone community, with the idea behind it to really, help people become informed about best practices and safety.
Right.
So I guess it's the egg. Where it was born from was that the kids in the drone squad at school wanted to do something. And I said, well, why don't we host an expo? And they were excited. And they said, wow, we could help maybe inform the public of what we know and what we've been learning here in the class. And then it exploded.
I know. I tell you, I was impressed with the kids, your crew, your team. Those kids were pretty impressive. They were.
Yeah.
And they were all in uniform, guys. They were all in like little army uniforms. But the Civil Air Patrol, right? That's the uniform.
Yeah, Civil Air Patrol, and I have a class in manned aviation, and then I have a class in drone aviation, and then I have the Civil Air Patrol. I have 2 classes of that every day. And so with all those kids interested in aviation, we wanted to do something big at the school that would show, our interest in aviation and how we wanted to support, the community. And I became a fast team drone pro. So kind of working on a volunteer basis with the FAA to kind of spread the good word of safety and best practices to everyone. Yeah. And so through that, we initially started this thing to go in hand with the National Drone Safety Week that the FAA had initially posted. And but then dates didn't seem to work out. Things weren't meshing for us to do it on the same dates. Yeah. And then now they've switched theirs to the summer anyway, but we're still in liege with the FAA, and they were present at our drone expo. They had their own booth, and we're out there helping people to know what was going on. They had stuff to hand out and flyers and brochures and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
We had classes going on all day. We even had local weather meteorologist come, from one of the news channels to come out and did a class on drones versus weather. We had one of our other fast team drone pros that has a local business in drones here. She was giving classes on how to get the trust certification. It's easy anyway, but there are some people that are just afraid.
They don't know about it.
Right. So we're kind of bringing them there and giving them a little bit of extra information as they were going through the screens and working through that test. Instead of doing it on their own, they had somebody they could ask questions to and that sort of thing. And that's what we were really, hoping for, out of this, and to bring the people forward and say, hey, this isn't just a hobby anymore. It's for serious enthusiasts that, want to go out there and do this right,
Exactly. Like I said, it was well organized. You really did a excellent job. I was totally impressed with it. And like I say, I visited just about every booth. I think I hit them all, and I spoke to them. As you know, I was shooting a video for my YouTube channel, and
you were showing me how to do that. That was nice.
Yes, yeah. Then you went on Facebook Live. Yes,
right.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
that's what it's all about with this drone community, sharing your knowledge, and helping each other.
The networking is the other part to this, is that we got all those vendors out there, and some of them were sitting next to one another, and we tried to mix things up. We tried to get people to be next to each other that wouldn't normally have been next to each other, wouldn't normally do business with each other. And we got raving reviews from those people that came back and said, wow, we were next to so-and-so, and we had no idea that they did this and they were able to do that. And now we're linking up some piece of our company with their company, and, we're going to do something new, and it's going to be pretty cool. And we sat here talking about it all day, So that is another great piece to this whole, drone expo.
I know. And another thing that really impressed me, I'm not an FPV pilot, but you had the drone races going on. And that for me to watch that's pretty impressive. It really is.
It really is. And they do 100+ miles an hour racing around that field. And of course, we have stuff like that going out on the field. And then this year we had it going on in the gymnasium as well. We
Right.
had rocket drones came down from Tennessee, excuse me, and they were doing drone racing FPV style in the gymnasium and teaching people about their educational products and curriculum and stuff like that they had. And so it was just a really good time for the youth to come out and see what the drones, had to offer. And a lot of those kids that, like Florida Drone Supply was out there letting people get their hands on with drones, and people who had never flown, like what was Mavic 3s they had out there.
The M30. I got to fly the M30T with them.
Right.
And that was amazing.
Some really cool equipment that a lot of people couldn't afford to have, but yet they got to get out there and experience it and really play with it. I know I can't afford some of that equipment, and I have yet to have the time to get over to that booth and actually fly myself, because they have the FPV going on as well.
Yeah, he had his daughter. She was flying the Avata.
Absolutely. And we had some other, you talk about some names that are out there. We had Dan Ford. He's with, what's the name of his company? It always slips my mind for some reason. But he's a 2-time Emmy Award-winning cameraman. And he was there, and he talked to me while we were there about possibly they're going to run a live stream next year when they come out, and they're going to use his little control station he has out there. He basically has like a TV station in his trailer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they want to do that next year and put it out. We're gonna get together a YouTube channel specifically for that, and also simulcast it on Facebook. And so there's big things in mind for next year.
Well, I predict that you'll at least double, maybe even triple in size next year. And I will promote it as much as I can. And I know Marcus will also on his channel.
Oh yeah.
Well, and Marcus is a co-host on another live stream. Speaking of that, he's on a live stream called Drone Nation on YouTube, and he comes on tonight at 9:00. And it's one of the, I'm not just saying it because he's sitting there, it's one of the best drone live streams there is, really.
Well, I heard you saying that earlier. You learned a lot from him before you started yours, so that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Can I promote one other, Captain Ray?
Sure.
Every Sunday afternoon, it will be 3 p.m. Eastern time. Check out Drone Seekers Live. It is live from the UK and Spain, and I'm a regular panelist on that program as well. And the reason that I bring that up is not just to promote that show, but to point out that these consumer drones, it's an international phenomenon, and it's really fun. I've literally made friends all over the world through hobby drones, so nothing but fun.
Exactly. And I watched that show. You know that, Marcus. And Jackie's in the chat. She's one of the co-hosts too.
She is, yeah.
So it's a good show, definitely. But I tell you, it's amazing, and the time just flies by on these live streams. So let me just take a break for a minute, because I do have a little format. And this week, I just want the tip of the week. I just give everybody a little tip of the week, and this week's tip of the week is a simple one. Anytime you're going to fly, just make sure you always do a site survey prior to flying. I know you go to a lot of the same spots and you know it, but when you're going to a new spot, you should always go check out the area for trees, wires, cranes. We flew yesterday. We had a mini meetup yesterday with the South Florida Drone Flyers in Boynton Beach. And it's on the Intercoastal Waterway and on Boynton Beach Inlet. And this is not to embarrass the pilot by any means. It's just so people can learn. But Bill Ronayne, he gave me permission to share his video from the meetup yesterday. And not that he had an issue, because he had an awesome flight going until the very end.
Until the end. I saw that video.
And we're going to see it now.
He had an awesome flight until he didn't.
And listen, here's the other thing that needs to be mentioned. Bill
Yeah.
is a good, experienced pilot too.
He
so
is.
the point of it is, this is why you always have to be aware and pay attention. So anyway, just throwing that out there. It's not like it's the first time he ever grabbed a drone before. The guy knows what he's doing.
Definitely, definitely. And I know. And wait do you see this? Wait do you see this? And the video speaks for itself. But we had an awesome place to fly right there, and Bill is doing a phenomenal job with the DJI FPV drone. He goes right under that bridge, no problem. He's flying along the coastline, and I didn't even go and see the backside of the island right there, but he did, you know. And then he's gonna come around, and everybody sort of saw the crane that you're gonna see shortly.
Don't give it away, Captain Ray.
But there's the crane. Okay. So anyway, and this is again not to embarrass Bill. Um, it's just that maybe he should have slowed down a little bit, because that was a pretty big gap, you know. But Maddie, just to let everybody know, Maddie tried to go in and get that drone, but there was the clarity of the water right there wasn't clear at all, and the temperature of the water was very cold, so he really couldn't go out to the deeper part and look for it. He had a mask on, but the drone wasn't recovered. So, Bill, we offer our condolences to you. I know you'll probably watch the live stream later, but so always do a site survey when you prior to flying. So, and any tips that you guys have, you can feel free to share them now too.
Well, the one that'll catch you, and I'm not, too ashamed to say that it's caught me before. Not that I've crashed a drone into it, but I've looked at my video post afterwards and seen like power lines that I didn't realize. Not that I didn't realize were there, but how close they were, etc. Power lines especially will get you. So it's know where they're at. It's situational awareness, right? Knowing where your drone is.
And Mark Fisher's in the chat. Mark Fisher retrieved a lost drone in the water at the first South Florida drone meetup. He went in, and it was cold that day. It was windy that day, and he went in and searched for it. And sure enough, he found the guys. And it was coincidentally, it was a DJI FPV drone also when it first came out. So kudos to Mark. He was the hero of the first annual South Florida drone meetup. So, and I don't know if you want to share your little incident from the second South Florida drone meetup, Marcus, but
well, it was.
You weren't flying. I know that.
Of course, I wasn't flying, but I felt bad. It just happened to be that my friend Ron Brown just happened to be flying my drone. Happened to have the controller in his hand, is what I'm going to say, because we know that something happened to that drone. He was hovering out over the intercoastal. You call it? Is that right, Captain Ray?
Right. Yep.
He was hovering over the intercoastal, and something happened to that drone. I think maybe it threw a prop. I don't know.
Yep.
But it flopped down and fell straight down into the water. And Ron, it was April 2nd. So Ron is behind me and he's yelling, "Hey, it fell. I lost it. And of course I'm thinking, hey, April Fools, right? That's what I'm thinking, because I didn't see it. But no, sure enough, down it went. Now, again, we had people in Maddie's son went in diving, trying to find it. He couldn't find it. And then days later, Captain Ray, you went out there and tried to find it.
I tried. Yeah, I did. Yeah. But on a positive note, there was another drone that went in the water, and Maddie's son did recover that one.
Yeah.
But those are things that happen when you're flying by water.
But the other lesson there is with that little Autel Nano.
Unless you fly like I do, I'm a wimpy fly.
Well, Ron had it in a hover. It was just
Right.
sitting there hovering. He wasn't doing any kind of fancy maneuvers or anything with it. But tells you the importance of anything can happen at any time. And in this case, whether it threw a prop or whatever it was, the thing fell from the sky. So you need to consider that where you're flying and what you're doing.
And there you go. Jackie drowned her first drone. Yeah. And
Hers, that was an
I guess
interesting
it happens
one.
in Spain also.
Yeah. Well, can we talk about that for a second? I wish Jackie was on here to talk about her situation. Is she had a DJI Spark, and Jackie is an amazing pilot. She gets some very, very cinematic footage. I was amazed what she used to do with that little DJI Spark, but she started to have problems with the drone. It would occasionally have control issues and so forth. And I don't know if you guys remember the history of that Spark. It had thermal issues. When that drone got hot, it would have problems. Well, of course, she lives in southern Spain, so it's going to get hot. Anyway, she was out on a flight one time, and it just checked out. It just took off, headed for Morocco, and landed there someplace out there in the ocean. And we had another friend that just happened to have a camera on it, and he saw it taking off out in the middle of nowhere. But again, that's another point. Anything can happen anytime. Perfectly good drone. It was flying perfectly well. High quality DJI product, yet still had a flyaway.
Yep, and we got Chris Hope in the chat too, and Chris does the Sunday morning live streams, at sunrise. And I remember watching his live stream when his fell out of the sky, and he ended up retrieving it. Well, he had a fisherman retrieve it for him, and it was still actually powered when it come out of the water, but he ended up getting a new one. So but I remember watching him say, "Oh my Lord, look at this thing! It's crashing."
And there again, listen. You and I both know Chris very well. He does does a very good pre-flight inspection and everything, and I know they did. And in that particular case, that Phantom 4, the way those props go on there and twist, there's a cap on the top of the props. That cap came off for whatever reason, a defective prop. The prop lets go, the drone tumbles down. So
I know things happen. They do.
The point being that it can. You have to be aware of that and where your drone is at, because those kind of things can and do happen.
Exactly. What about Willis? What about you? Have you had any crashes?
I fly perfectly all the time. I never had any. No. Crashed a couple, but I've had my share of other crazy things happen. But probably to go along with your tip of the day and doing a site visit and really going over that thoroughly. I had a small business. It was called Third Altitude Productions. And we did a lot of real estate photography and videography. And we did some music videos and a few other things we got hired to do. But I was out one day early on when we first got up and running. I had a Phantom 4 Pro. And I was flying it, trying to go over the top of a tree, come down on the backside of that tree and go down on top of this house, and then go over the top of the house and do a spin and bring the camera up as I was leaving the house. So that was the whole shot idea, was to come down, spin, and then leave going up. Anyhow, going over the top of the tree, I had looked at it, I had seen it. But I had my head in the screen and I wasn't doing visual on the quadcopter. And that's really one of the things you've got to really, do, because sometimes that camera, you think it's closer or further away than it is actually. Right. And then you hit something, and there was a little, like a twig. It was literally just a little sprig that was off the top of the tree. It didn't have any foliage on it. It was just a stick. For whatever reason, about maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet off the top of the tree. And I came over the top of that tree and I couldn't see it in the camera. I looked at it like it was further away, and I ended up clipping the landing gear just barely. And that was it. Yeah. So I don't lose mine in the water very often, but more prone to destroying them on concrete. So
Yeah, right.
the
And
thing
trees come
flips
out of
over.
nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. They just,
But anyway,
you
we
know,
have a question for you. Um, have you ever been to Scap Air Force Base, Illinois, with Ben
which one?
Blanchard? Question from Dustin. One Vision Aerial.
Blanchard. No,
Cap
I
at
don't know
Scott
that I've
Air
heard of
Force
that one.
Base.
I was born at MacDill Air Force
Okay.
Base, and I've been to a lot of Air Force bases. My dad was in the Air Force, so being an Air Force brat, I've been all over.
Okay.
But I have not even heard of Blanchard. So,
All right. Okay. But
but yeah, the concrete likes my drones.
It's not good.
Yeah.
No.
No. And it happens.
fun.
It happens
was
to
fun.
everybody.
I was
I've
flying
only
out
had
of.
a hard landing
Oh yeah, no.
on
This
a
was
grassy
from
area.
this was
That's
from
it.
about 40 feet up. Goodbye, So, but
And that was when I
I-
had a toy drone. My first drone was a toy drone,
Mm.
a Spy Striker. At
Right.
$63 it cost me.
Ray, I guarantee you, all of our first drones were toy drones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to what you're playing with now, yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Well, I was
Hey,
flying
we
one time
got
over a
Drone Nation. Drone Nation's in the
there's
chat. How you
Ron
doing,
Brown.
Ron?
Ron
Good to see
Brown.
you. Yeah. Always good to see Ron. And David Lorenzo, he's another superstar,
Yeah.
Marcus, and Willis, he shows up at a meetup yesterday, he comes in late, you know how celebrities come late, and then he doesn't even fly a drone. He just socializes.
Well, what the heck?
But David, good to see you. I'm kidding, David.
Hey, you missed
Yeah.
one in
But he
another celebrity in the
he
chat
invited
here.
me on a top secret mission, though. He invited me on a top secret mission that I'm not allowed to talk about. Go ahead.
Captain
I'm sorry,
Ray,
Marcus.
you missed another celebrity in the chat, or maybe you called him out earlier. But I see Al Duranify is in there. He is.
Yeah, I saw him.
He's on a special mission out in Utah right now, is my understanding. I'm sure he's probably flying there.
Yeah, he's at the film festival, right? Film
Yeah.
festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how you doing, Al? Good to see you. And Al's coming to the South Florida drone meetup
Good.
too. Yeah. So, but I'm trying to keep up with the chat, and I apologize if I missed the new people coming in, and I try to type their name if I don't acknowledge them. But you guys have been two great guests. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you got a lot of people here. This is great.
Captain Ray, I got to ask you about a couple of people that may or may not be on the list. Is Chris Hope on that list?
He's very busy at work right now, and he didn't give me a definite no, but he's very busy at work, and he may come, but I would love for him to come, but we're not trying to put him on the spot. But
no, I'm trying to put him on the
spot. Your job comes first. He's got a very, very good job, and I know he's very busy. Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Anybody else you want to know who's on the list?
Yeah, this next individual I know is just an old retired guy like me. How about another celebrity? This guy's a big celebrity. Gary Brad Ariels, is he coming?
Yeah, he's number 13. He signed up early. He's number 13.
So Gary,
he's coming he's coming down all the way from Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you know, Captain Ray, I was thinking that when we do the next year's event for the Sunshine State Drone Expo, that I think it would be awesome to have like the day before or the day after that event to have a drone meetup somewhere on the intercoastal there near our school, because it's only not even a mile to the intercoastal from where our school sits. Where we actually do the expo.
I totally agree with you on that, and I will attend. So you put me down as number one.
Well, I want your help with that. I mean, I can build a drone expo, but I haven't done a meetup yet. So your expertise with that might be good.
Well,
stuff.
Again, it's basically easy. You just make sure you can fly legally with what the venue you pick, and then You just put out the date and you welcome everybody, and they come. They really do. And I
That's
said the
awesome.
same thing to Mark Fisher in the chat because he sort of had the same request you did up in Rhode Island. And I said, Mark, just have it. Pick a date and have it. And his was totally successful. Over 50 something people the first year.
Well, I
So
wonder how many people would actually come down, maybe get a hotel or something
yeah,
to
that's what they do.
do that maybe the day before the show or even the day after, because the show is usually on Saturdays. And then, maybe that Sunday we could all go out and fly some drones together,
Yeah.
because the expo itself is more, I had a lot of people hit me up and say, hey, is it like a meetup? Are we coming there to fly? And I had to say no,
No.
because it's
Right.
more, there's certain people that are going to get out there and fly. We have, of course, bring out the RC planes and helicopters as well. And, because they're all part of this drone community as well.
Yeah.
And so we welcome them. And so there's some really phenomenal flyers going on, but they have the entire field to themselves, during their part of the show.
Yeah.
But I think it would be phenomenal.
A second day of flying or a prior day of flying would
Take all those
really
folks that are coming to the show and let's all get a hotel and let's all go, maybe everybody get in the same hotel and then let's all go out and let's enjoy some good conversation at the hotel that night and then go out and fly the next day.
And while you're talking about the hotel, we do have an
Mhm.
official hotel, and that's the Hampton Inn and Suites
Awesome.
in North Stewart, which is
Mhm.
5 to 10 minutes from the venue, and
Yeah.
they gave us such a discount, and I got to say thank you to them.
Mhm.
But again, if you're coming, you should book your hotel room early, and you got to call the hotel direct
Right.
and use the code SFD South Florida Drone because it's like a 50% discount. And Marcus can vouch for that, right, Marcus?
Yeah, I got a little bit of that discount last year, and it's only for those. I stayed a little bit longer, and so you get the discount just for those days. I think it's Friday.
She extended them though. She
Saturday
extended
night,
them.
but-
No, she extended them this year. Yeah,
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Well, that's even better.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, Captain Ray, anybody that might be thinking of doing that, seriously, we put out the date for the next year's event, probably around April this year.
Right.
We're looking to do that. So the first meeting of the committee will be in March. You, by the way, will be welcome to join that committee. We'll send you an email on that, by the way,
Thank you.
so that you can join
Appreciate
into that conversation because, we're looking to get feedback and we want to hear from people that came for the first time and that sort of thing. So nonetheless, we'll meet in March and then we'll meet in April. And usually after the second meeting, we have a new date for the next year. So in April, we'll know if it's going to be December or January and all that. And so everybody, could look it up. You can go out. If you just Google the Sunshine State Drone Expo, you should get our main page and you can see this year's event, what we just did.
Right.
We've already posted some pictures and that sort of thing, but it's basically on our school's webpage. But it's a particular page from that site that we're using for the event. And if you go out there and you check that out, you can come back frequently, especially after April. Once we get about midway through April, you could go in there and right at the top, we'll have the new date and time.
The biggest thing when you're planning a meetup for me is you don't want it to conflict or be too close to another meetup or drone event because then you sort of take away from that event and you won't get it. Well, again, that's just common sense.
Yeah, but I mean, if
So-
we're doing the Sunshine State Drone
no,
Expo,
that's yours. You're going to have your own. Yeah.
and we have the event, a meetup
that's
event
ideal.
like the next day, and everybody came. Let's say we agreed and said, "Hey,
Oh,
everybody,
yeah.
let's meet up at the
Definitely.
hotel. Let's hang out in the lobby. Have some drinks, enjoy some chat."
Well,
whatever.
I'm going to tell you about another drone. I call it a convention, and that's an event called Spin Up, and that's held in Austin, Texas. And Kelly Shores, Ready Set Drone, holds that in late October or November, and that's a phenomenal event. And again, it's a 2-day event. Same thing, a meet and greet on Friday night before, and it's I highly recommend that event. But that's like I say in November, and we're gonna get the exact date any week now.
Should
So
be.
go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I've got a question for Willis. I'm curious about your program. So you take these kids in their junior high age, is that correct?
Yeah, middle school,
Yeah.
6 through 8.
So are you taking them from zero drone knowledge through the trust certificate and getting a hobby license? Is that?
Yeah, that's the first thing right off the bat. They have to have the trust. We also teach them the USI, or Unmanned Safety Institute, safety program level 1. It's a college course, and
Oh, wow.
we teach it to them instead of like I teach the same class at a local college here, St. Pete College. But I said, I think my middle schoolers can do this. And everybody thought I was crazy, but we put it into the middle school. And we currently have the youngest drone pilots in the world that have this safety level 1 industry certification. Now, if you were to go seek that on your own, like you wanted to just go get it yourself right now, it's about $4,000, you know, but these kids are getting it for free. And I take them through it in little bite sizes throughout a year, and we do some flying in between. So by the time they come out of that, they've got a drone safety certification. They've knocked out a high school class. They have 1 credit of college credit, and they basically have about 10 hours, maybe 15 hours of flight time.
Wow,
And
that is
That is
great.
great. It's a great program, really,
Yeah.
really. But I tell you, I'm so glad that you do that, because, like I said, that's a focus that we have, and to get children involved, and you're doing it firsthand.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, I got to do my little monthly giveaway question, and this month we're giving away the Capt Ray Kelly shirt, and it even says "Let's get kids hooked on drones, not drugs" on the back of it.
Good stuff.
But I'm not going to do it. I'm throwing you off, guys. I'm not going to do it regarding one of my videos, because I didn't even get the chance to play it, and we're running out of time. So it's going to be a pick the lucky number between 1 and 50. You guys are eligible too, Marcus and Willis, because you don't know what it is, but I have it written on the piece of paper right here. So put it in. I'll try to spot it. Most of the time I miss it, and I got to go over it or call out the wrong one, but pick the lucky color, guys. I mean number. And some people are close. Some people are very close.
Boy, look at those numbers go by.
I know. I'm telling you.
I can't seem to chat it, so I'm just going to say 32. 32.
Okay, I
I'm
see
going with
it. I
32.
see it. Somebody's got it. All right, let's see. I think Charles Skoleski, he got it. It's number 44. 44 was the
Wow,
number.
dead on.
Congratulations, Charles. So your name will go in for the monthly giveaway drawing next week.
Congrats, Charles.
We'll be pulling it next week. So, but listen, guys, the hour flies by, as you know, and I want to say thank you very, very much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you.
We got the Ratify show going on right after this at 7 p.m. I don't like to go into his time, because Al Duran and Robbie, they go every other week now. But he'll be going on at 7 p.m. And then we got the Grumpy Vlogger at 8, Lloyd, and then we got Drone Nation at 9. And don't forget the Fly for Fun show on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. with Johnny and myself. And I got to say thank you to everybody in the chat. But Marcus, now it's your time to give your final thoughts or anything you would like to promote.
Oh gosh, I just want spring to sprung, spring to sprung, spring, whatever. It has been so cold, and we've had snow. And I am not afraid to fly in cold weather. But, you know, when it's gloomy and threatening to snow or whatever, it just kind of takes some of the fun out of it. I'm ready for spring. I want to get out and fly. I'm one of those kind of guys that likes to fly every day. So let's hope that happens soon. But hey, don't wait for that next new drone, whatever's coming along. Fly what you got and have fun.
And again, Marcus, thank you very much for being on. Thank you for your donation. And then you added more donations tonight.
There you go.
So you're going to make a lot of people happy at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Yeah, good.
You know. And Willis, now it's your time to say your closing thoughts and anything you want to promote.
Well, just, just again, check out Sunshine State Drone Expo. Look it up on Google. Find us. Find me on Facebook. Just reach out. We'd love to have you. We're starting an email list. So if you want to hit me up, I'll hook you up. We'll get you on the email list, and we'll let you know when we come up with that date, and we'll remind you when we get close. And until then, just fly safe. That's all.
That's it. That's a big thing. Make sure you get out there and you fly safely. And as Johnny and I say, fly for fun, and bring your child with you when you go, if you can, and teach them how to fly. But thank you all in the chat for watching, and I'll see you again next week, same time, same place, and get out there, fly safely. Good night, everybody.